So as we've seen, there are so many billing components to Snowflake, it can often get tricky to keep a track of your consumption, especially if you're working in a big team and everyone is doing their own thing and you guys are building a data warehouse on Snowflake. Majority of the times it can get expensive, and Snowflake in general is a relatively more expensive tool compared to the other cloud offerings, especially if you are not careful about how you're consuming the credits. In this video, I'm going to show you how to keep a track of your consumption on a regular basis. And the queries that I'll be executing and showing you guys in this video is something that you might have to execute as you go through the course down the line. It might not make a lot of sense at this point, especially if you're using a new Snowflake account. So to begin with, make sure you switch your role to account admin because you need admin rights to be able to access these objects. And if you see on the left hand side, you'll see the database Snowflake, and inside Snowflake you'll see a schema account usage. Now this schema has a lot of views that lets you literally access everything, right from how many stage objects you have to how many databases you have, what views you have, your copy history, file formats, what have you in Snowflake. But the two views that are of importance to us are the warehouse metering history and the query history. So once you switch your role, I'm just going to show you what the first view has, which is warehouse metering history. So it has the start time, the end time, the warehouse ID, the name of the warehouse, how many credits were consumed, and the breakdown. So were these credits for compute or for cloud services? Okay. Now this is basically the credits consumed for the amount of time your warehouse was running. So the amount of time your warehouse was running is the difference between the start time and the end time. All right. And the next one is the query history. Now this view, query history, gives you the query ID, the query text, which is the actual SQL statement that you executed, the name of the database against which you executed the query, the schema, the type of query, the session ID, and the user who executed the query. And finally, you have the warehouse name. So I've written two queries that aggregates and consolidates all of this. So let me copy the first one and let's quickly go over this query. I am rounding up and summing up the credits used, and I'm multiplying it with, it should be 3.9. That's my cost per credit since I'm in Amazon Cloud in Frankfurt region. So credits used into 3.9 is the billed amount. This is the dollar amount that you'll be billed. The name of the warehouse for which you have to spend this money. The time difference in minutes between the start time and end time, and I'm calling it warehouse runtime in minutes, and the execution date and the execution hour. So it's a pretty simple query. Let's go ahead and execute it. So you can see I've had to spend, or I've been billed $5, $5.6 for this warehouse, and the runtime was 60 minutes on this date, and the execution hour was 9. So this is the 9th hour of the day. Let's look at the other one. I'm just gonna copy this. Now in this query, I've just broken down your query execution time into several buckets, 0 to 10, 10 to 20, so on and so forth. Now you can feel free to modify this query as per your needs. So I'm taking account of all the queries executed, grouped by this bucket, which is execution time range. And I'm also grabbing the warehouse name, and this is extremely important. You can see NVL warehouse name or warehouse cache. This basically means if there is no warehouse name for any given query, that basically means that Snowflake didn't actually fetch or query the database. It fetched the data from the cache. So that's what it means. The name of the user who executed it, the execution date, and the execution hour. So let's go ahead and run this. So you can see I executed three queries, which were in the range of 0 to 10 minutes. on my warehouse prod_excel. This is my username, this is the execution date and execution hour. So keep these two queries and make sure you run it every time you finish or complete a section in this course. It'll be extremely useful so you know how many credits you've consumed at any point. So I hope that was helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.